Hi, how are you? This is Dr. Vic with another video on explaining what's a derivative. Today we'll go into the mathematical and graphical definition. If we remember our previous video on the derivative of a parabola, we mentioned that a derivative follows a very simple definition, which is this one. Pretty much what we're computing is a quotient. We're dividing a numerator by a denominator. The numerator pretty much is the change in the function which we want to compute its derivative. And we divide that change by the change in the underlying variable, x in this case. So in this example, we're going to compute a more challenging function, which is the inverse, that is 1 divided by x. So we have to get to this result. We apply the definition of that derivative to the function 1 divided by x, and that's what we have here. Basically, if we follow this definition, we have to increase the original function 1 divided by x by a small increment. So 1 divided by x by an increase in delta x, okay? And then we have to subtract the original function, which is 1 divided by x. So that's what we have here. And we divide all this by delta x, okay? We proceed with the algebra. Basically, here we do some algebra. If you go through it at your own pace, you will understand it. And at the end of all these calculations, we reach this last quotient. And as you remember, we have to take the limit of delta x. That means that delta x has to have a value of 0, and we reach the result. Now let's move on to the graphical side. If you review our previous parabola example, you will remember that the function that we tried to compute its derivative was a parabola. This is the graphic of a parabola. And this line is the derivative. If you remember, the derivative of a parabola, x squared, is 2x. So what this line is saying is that the change or the slope along this curve going from left to right is increasing. The tangent on each point is going upwards, upwards, upwards. That's the meaning of this line, that the tangent or the slope or the derivative is increasing. In the example we just did of the derivative of 1 divided by x, if we graph this function, we obtain this funny situation. Okay? And the derivative of 1 divided by x is minus 1 divided by x squared. If we graph this function, we obtain this, which is an even weirder function or graph. But the meaning of this is very simple. That the slope or the derivative is going downwards, then goes up, goes down, and then increases. Remember that the derivative follows the curve. So here it's going down, the slope, then the slope suddenly increases, and then increases slightly.